it's almost hard to explain the feeling that you get when you drive out here and enjoy the views and the open space.
I came back here to raise a family in this beautiful area. I want my grandchildren to be able to do the same thing.
The Finger Lakes and the beautiful landscapes that surround them are facing unprecedented threats right now. We have experienced toxic algae outbreaks on all 11 Finger Lakes. These events threaten our drinking water. They also threaten the use of these lakes, which is fundamental to our regional economy.
If you care about water, you have to care about the land that surrounds it.
If you preserve the land, it protects the water.
It's in our wheelhouse to address these issues. If not us, who?
Together, we can create a lasting legacy for the future.
And that is the coolest thing in the world, that's what will make it forever.
A lot has changed since the Land Trust was established 30 years ago, but the soul of the organization is the same. It remains a pragmatic, grassroots group that's focused on conservation.
The Land Trust has a very aggressive program to continue its activities in the area of land protection, water protection, and there's a lot of work to be done.
We now have 15 dedicated professional staff and still maintain the strength of volunteers that now number more than 200. And they're all committed to the cause. It's truly an extraordinary group.
They do a really thoughtful analysis of the whole landscape of the Finger Lakes for the overall good of the whole system, and that's what they're really good at.
I am a longtime member of the Land Trust because it adds so much to our Finger Lakes region.
When someone chooses to join the Land Trust, what they're really doing is investing in making the area right, not just for ourselves, but for the generations that follow.
I think for a long time, people assumed we're lucky we live here, we're never gonna have to worry about water. Well, what we're seeing with every year, there's the harmful algae blooms are popping up. We have to pay attention and we have to protect this resource.
Toxic algae really is an existential threat to our region. These events threaten our drinking water. They also threaten the use of these lakes.
Because it's a physical thing. You can see it, you can't drink it, your dogs can't swim in it, we can't swim in it.
If you care about water, you have to care about the land that surrounds it. That means taking better care of the watersheds, reducing the amount of runoff that occurs, reducing the number of pollutants that move into our lakes.
And also to restore wetlands, to buffer streams, to actually improve water quality.
This is getting more important as we get the stresses of climate change.
Climate change is a big concern for us. The impact it appears to have on the toxic algae issue, both through warmer summer temperatures and increasingly intense storm events that are washing more nutrients into these lakes. Plants and animal population are going to have to move. So we're really focused on conserving lands that connect our existing public natural areas. We also recognize it's important to connect people with the land.
To provide programming for youth and families and people of all ages to connect with nature, especially in a society where more of our daily routine really doesn't revolve around a quiet nature hike in the woods and nature exploration.
Once you see, those preserves and those trails and get the feeling of walking on them and enjoying that open space, I think then it would be hard to deny the benefit that the Land Trust provides.
When we moved here, there was a farm on every corner on all these small roads. Now, most of that land is housing developments.
We have some of the most productive farmland in the Northeast, and these areas are also prime for development.
We started the restaurant to promote and show people how good locally grown, sustainable, fresh produce was.
The Land Trust takes into account the business side of things.
Land and water protection are critical components of a vital, growing tourism economy.
We had friends visiting from Chicago. They were interested in doing some fishing, and believe it or not, they knew about all the algae blooms and decide to change their plans because they were under the impression that the fishing wasn't good and the water quality wasn't good.
We are at the tipping point, and if we act now, we can reverse this process. It's not going to happen overnight, but we can improve this for future generations.
And I personally find that very empowering. There are so many things that we read about that are going on in the world that you feel like, I wish I could do something about that. This is something that we can do something about.
I'm confident that my donation of time and money to the Land Trust, that's going to be used well and wisely.
It's in our wheelhouse to address these issues. If not us, who?
Everybody can make a difference. Let's make it better where we are. Let's make this area and its watershed as good as we can for as long as we can.
Together, we can create a lasting legacy for the future.
But the Finger Lakes, you have that feeling, could get better and better. With the Land Trust, there are people working on making that happen. And that is the coolest thing in the world, that's what will make it forever.